Well, we're almost at the halfway point of the Mountain West season here. The dog volleyball team now is in second place in the conference, 6-2 here, and it heads to number 12, Colorado State, and the conference leader, and also Wyoming this week. So we're here with junior setter Christina Lee, who started the year as the starting libero, but then switched after the third week of the year there. So kind of take us back to how you found out that the team needed you to be a setter and how you were going to accept the news.
At first, Coach Lauren came to me and said that we needed to run a 6-2 because of blocking purposes. And at the beginning, I was kind of hesitant. I wasn't sure if I wanted to make that transition back to setting, but I thought about it, and then the next day I told her that I was excited to start setting again, and that I would just do anything to help the team.
You said for us a little bit before, as early in your career, how did it go for you back then?
I did set my freshman year for the first few tournaments, and I think that I love setting, but I came here thinking that I would play libero, so as a freshman I was hesitant about setting again, but it was my original position. I grew up playing setter, so I think that I love playing, and I'll play anywhere for the team.
Were there any teammates or family members or former coaches that kind of helped you, give you confidence that you can go back to doing it again?
Definitely Coach Lauren and Mallory and Karina. They all believe in me, and my parents were kind of excited that I would get to set again, because that's what they watched me do all growing up, so yeah.
So it's such a huge transition going from one side on mostly the defense base to now trying to run the offense and be in sync and be in rhythm with everybody on the team. How have you adjusted that transition? Are you taking it piece by piece, a little bit each week, a little bit by little bit?
Definitely each week by each week. Just working on technical stuff for setting hand position and making that consistent. And Karina's been working a lot on that on me and pounding it in, so I just have to try and not focus too much on outcome, because once I get the technique down, the outcome will come, and I just have to keep reminding myself that.
Which hitters are the funnest to set for? Which ones are hardest to set for?
Macy is definitely the most fun to set for. She is always there. In transition, she'll yell, I'm here, and call the set, and so it's easy to set her knowing where she is. There's no one really hard to set, but I think that I can make my back sets more consistent, because it's also fun to set Holly when she can pound it down, and she's just so big that she hits over people.
For us non-volleyball types, where do you set your maybe your reference point when you try to do a back set? Are you looking at some point in crossed away laterally, or how do you set that ball?
Why do I set it?
How do you set it? What do you use to kind of visually to help cue yourself to the right spot?
So I always have to square up to setting the outside, and squaring up is kind of positioning your body to where you're supposed to set the outside ball in relation to the net, and there's a right shoulder rule for setting the back set. So if I'm facing to where I'm setting the ball to the outside, then I will want to set it a little over my right shoulder to get it closer to the net if the pass is off the net.
I know it's also, now you're in the back row with the 6-2 there, you haven't had much of a chance to block here, but obviously pound for pound you're one of the team's better blockers. Is that something you miss?
I do. It's kind of fun to block some of the big outsides and just shut them down, or just even slow them down, and that helps the team a lot and helps the defense. And slowing the ball down and then having them have a perfect pass or dig, it is easier to run to offense.
I know obviously being a libero, it takes a certain toll on your body with bruises and types of those deep kind of tissue injuries. How does the wear and tear on the body compare to being a setter?
Definitely my legs. The first week that I was setting again, my calves were so tight and sore because I hadn't jumped for the past 2 years. But I still run down a fair share of balls, so I'll get those bruises here and there.
So I know you've had some way to kind of unwind before you've used yoga in the past. Do you still do that at all?
I haven't done it recently, but usually when I go home, I do Bikram yoga with my parents. Actually, they go every day, and it's in a room about 115 to 120 degrees for an hour and a half, and you just like sweat out all the bacteria, or not bacteria, like detox your body, and it's just a good feeling after you come out of the class.
Is there a favorite pose and a least favorite pose?
My least favorite would be triangle, because you have to hold it for a good minute. And my favorite would be one of the floor series where you're standing down and just stretching, or sitting down and stretching.
That's nice. So I know also you have some background as a youngster as far as the getting your black belt there. Is that something you still do too?
No, I got my black belt when I was 8.5, and I was so small they actually cut my nunchucks in half for me so that I can hold them. And I still have those, actually.
That's awesome. You still have your belt, obviously, still on the wall too.
It's somewhere. I'm not really sure where it is.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, the rumor about you, I asked some of the other players, is you don't eat junk food. Is that true?
Sometimes I have my moments. My favorite would be ice cream, and maybe brownies. Those are my weak points. But for the most part, I'll try and stay healthy.
Okay. Well, in the classroom there, what are you taking right now this fall?
I'm taking 3 kines classes and a psych class. My kines classes, one is actually intro to athletic training, so we learn how to tape ankles and all that stuff. So it's kind of fun. And my other one would be motor development, which is learning how humans develop from the embryo onto being an adult.
Oh, wow.
And then my psych class is abnormal psych, so we talk about all the mental disorders and how the clinicians will treat them and all stuff like that.
So which mental disorder do you think is the most unique or interesting?
I just wrote a paper on conduct disorder, so I thought that was pretty interesting.
And what is that for those who don't know?
It starts out when you're young, and it's like a series of violating others or harming others without remorse and feeling bad that you harmed them. And it's just a frequent breakout of all these characteristics.
Have you diagnosed any players on the team with certain disorders this fall?
No, but I should go through and diagnose someone. That'd be fun.
Well, this week the Dogs head to Colorado State on Thursday for a 6 p.m. Pacific match, 7 o'clock local Mountain Time, then play at Wyoming in the afternoon. I think that's a 2 o'clock match Pacific Time, maybe 1 o'clock Pacific, 2 o'clock Mountain on Saturdays. So follow those games live on the Mountain West Live website. So go Dogs.
Go Dogs.